Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of the live auction results from today. Jason and I had to run off and do some errands and I thought I'd pop back on to see how the auction's going. So I'm going to get mounted into the old tripod here and we're going to get the auction rolling. So far the sales have been going brisk. This item that we have up right now is a West Coast Indigenous woven basket. It appears to be already at $650, and this is from the museum. So, I'm.
This is also from the Stan Reynolds collection. 650, 675, 650, 675, 75, 675, 650, 675, 75.
So now we watch and we see how things go. I'm going to stay on for about 45 minutes or so, maybe a little better. And we'll see how this batch of items go. We've had good results so far. And we're basically just waiting to see how some of these items go. You never know what's going to be a good seller. Very early Jane Austen book. It's a $300. We're going to feed the birds after Miranda. Miranda remembered we're going to go off and see the birds. We figured we would do the live feed now and then go see the birds after, then we don't have to rush to get back. It's a little wartime doll. The Winston Churchill Toby jug coming up. Navajo paintings. I kind of came in time. Actually, this the translation of the Tutelo tribe is coming up. That is a very interesting piece. And I'll be curious to know what this goes for. It's not up yet, but this particular little leaflet, this book, is a very, very neat item.
So 45, 79, 95, 49, 70, 80, 70, 80,
I can't remember if this is Royal Dalton or not. He's got his fingers up for victory. Looks like he poured out the back of his head. $120. I see Hans is on with us. Hello, Hans. A couple of Stevens paintings have sold so far. He basically needs to raise about $1,500, I think, for him to have the missing money for the car that he's after. If we reach that today, then we'll finalize things on his vehicle and do a little reveal episode. Wow, this is really climbing up. This is from the Stan Reynolds collection as well. Bob Hittman. He says, no one sees me, but I see you, Bob. Sometimes I look down at the... I'm watching the video. If it's blurry, check your connection. You can switch your settings to 720p or higher for your by hitting the 3 little dots on your screen.
I sold it 275, 76 Lots of time, people. Lot number 51, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2.
It was very interesting artwork, good artwork on the front of this book. 250. Ronald in Holland says hello, and I say goeiedag, Ronald. Goed gaan we met jou. Robin asks, is Steven going to be a car guy too? I don't know. I think he's starting to take more interest in it, especially now that he's been behind the wheel a little bit.
250, 75.
This I thought was funny because it's well, not funny, but the police are, there's some hoodlums on bicycles and the police are taking care of business there. It's an early newspaper, it's framed. Be fun to hang if you had a bicycle shop. If you had a bicycle shop, that would be a fun little thing to have in the background. Minnie Schembri says, good evening, Melissa and Alexander from Germany. Guten Tag von Canada. Wie geht's? Cyril says it was an illegal bicycle race. Yeah, and the police are just beating the heck out of him. And Todd, we don't have room for another car in the driveway, but we will once we move to an acreage. This was interesting on the back of it. It said on loan from Lieutenant Grote, March 1975. That was a neat piece. And it was signed. I'm just going to set that down and then see if they show the back of it. It has his picture, 1967, it says.
$250, you're still on that 10, that's why. 250, 275, 250, 275, 275, 275, 250, 75, 275. You got to get it off that 10. 275.
There we go.
300.
I have not been picking today myself. I've been delivering. Sharon asks. I had to run out in between the two videos here and deliver two giant boxes of, two absolutely massive boxes full of Ninja Turtles. They're going off to Nova Scotia. And he says, hi, Alex, Melissa, and all the family. Well, hello back at you. 375 more, 375 more, 375 in the mortal, give me mortal, give me more, 375, 400, 375 in the mortal, give me mortal, give me more, 375 more, 375 in the mortal, give me mortal, give me more, 375 in the mortal, give me more, last call. 425. Now half, born a quarter, born a born a quarter, born a half, born a quarter, born a born a quarter, born a half. There's a couple pieces coming up. This lot 8158 is a pretty special one. And I'll be quite interested to see what that ends at, because there are no known copies for sale right now. And it's signed by the author. So a couple lots from now, we should have an idea. And somebody said probably the only time this auctioneer will appear with a pyramid behind him. Hey, you never know. That's a pretty spacey looking background. Oh, isn't that nice? Do you guys hear what he said? He said, speaking of fossils, and then he passed off to the other auctioneer. That's funny. 70 and 80, 60 and 70 and 80, 70 and 80. You're going to give me a complex. 70, 80, 90, 90, 100, 90 down, 100, I'll put it again, 100, I'll put it again, 90 down, 110, what about down 110? It will, 100 down, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110. It will, 100 down, 110, 110, 110, 120, 110, 120. 110. 120. Actually takes quite a bit of time to do the beadwork on these. 120 down, 130, 130, 130, y'all done. 120's on the 30, 40, 130, 140. Of course, these are in Canadian prices. 140 and 140, 140, 140, 140, 140, yes or no? 130 down, 140, last call, 130 down, 140, 140, y'all done. And 130 down, 140. Jane Lord says she can't get into the auction, but if you go there and click bid online, it should still let you in. Sometimes people go to click on the picture that's just the advertisement, and it does. You can't bid on the picture. Is there anybody who's on the live feed right now that's actually bidding right now too? Maybe I'll ask that question. Anybody at home also placing bids at the same time? This is an early book, the early settlers. Really good educational leaflet from the time. Marilyn says she's doing both. Kathy says she's placing bids.
Hit one of it down 110 where yes or no 110 last call. Hit one of it down 110 going to sell it. One of it down 110 up to you 110 yes or no if you want it now's the time. One of it down 110 yes or no and it's sold it.
There it goes.
57 1883. Here we go on this one 2 1/4.
Migrations book by Horatio Hale. He is a pretty well-known author, and his early works like this are very difficult to come across. With the author's compliments, and it looks like it's going to James Key. So the Huron, Cherokee, Dakota, there's quite a few different tribes that he'd visited in the 1800s. And he talks about their migration patterns and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's somebody said just now it's a rare book. It is. The next one is the rarest of the rare, because that has the actual translation of this lost language in it.
58. Here we go on the translation book. There you go. The lost Tucalo tribe. There you go. Have a look here to a 4 1/4, 4 1/2. Hit 4 1/4 bit out 450, 75, 500 and a quarter, 500 and a half, and fit $600 where yes or no. 550, 600. At 550, 600, 600, 600.
See where it goes. It's also signed by him too. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's signed right there by Horatio Hale himself.
575 where you're now $600.
600.
6 1/4. It's 6 is all between 6 1/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4. It's 600 and a quarter, 6 1/4 to go. Yes, you know it's 6 1/4, 600 and a quarter. It's 6 of it out, 6 1/4, 6 1/4.
That's
6 1/4, 6 1/4.
at least over $1,000 book normally. So that one's going a little bit light.
6 1/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4.
And you might say, why so much? But it's a really neat, it's a really interesting part of history. Horatio Hale actually went and sat with the last surviving member of the Tutelo tribe and translated their language. Basically, so it has word-by-word translations inside of it. There it goes. I would have thought that one would have gone for a bit more, but...
Stone carving, serpentine, here we go, 2 1/4, 2 1/2. 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, where yes, about 2 1/2.
Serpentine, stone bird. This is a fairly large piece too, if I recall.
2 1/4 bit out, 250, 250, 250, where yes, 250, 2 1/4, 250. Inuit carving, 2 1/4, 2 1/2. At 2 1/4 is all of it, 2 1/2.
Let's see, what are we coming up to? Bayonets and swords. Oh, the Japanese officer's sword is coming up. That was getting some healthy bids. Then we start getting into some of the Roman coins. I probably won't stick it through. I probably won't stick through it with all the coins and everything. It's too bad that we're not going to be coming up to. There's a big steam tractor that I'm really curious to see. This is just a little Art Deco camera.
1930s camera, there you go, 80, at 70 and 80 and 80 and 80 and 80, 90, 80 down 90, 80 and 90, 80 down 90, down with the game, 90 go, 90, 100, 90 down 100, 90, 100, 90, 100, 90 down 100. At 90s, all of it need $100 with the game, 90 down $100 where, yes or no.
Thank you. Somebody said settings, quality, 720p. Yeah. Jag looks good. Are you ever going to get your old Chevy truck running? I don't have a Chevy truck. So, Chris, I can't get it I can't get running what I don't have. I don't have a Chevy truck. That the Chevy truck sold last year. Yes, sir, no, and I sold them at 100. It's gone 61. Anyway, carved igloo stone carving. There you go. Have a look. I like this one. It was 3 little igloos put together. I thought that was a pretty sweet piece. And then they carved figural, like boots and people and pants and things on the outside of it that represent day-to-day life. I thought that was just a really nice little item. 250s all of it 275. One more time at 275. 250s all of it 275. 275. They said if item 8145 is from the museum or 8270. What is 8145? Yeah, the basket. 8270. I think you were asking about. Let's see. The baskets were all from the museum. 8247 is from the museum. 8246 is from the museum. 8245 is from the museum. 8244. 8270 and 76. Okay, somebody's asking a question. 8270. Let's see. What is 8270? No, 8270 is not. And what 8276? 8276 is not from the museum. Hope that clears it up. Little bear. Let's see, what lot are we on? 8162. The next one's cool. Look at this. It's a little person who's actually inside of an igloo building their igloo. And it is signed Edith Acklock, stone carving of Inuit building. There's her signature. Isn't that a fun little... That would have taken some real skill to actually carve all those little blocks and everything. And I quite like this one, actually. Isn't that just the neatest? Building their igloo. Now, funny that a lot of people think that us in Canada live in Arctic conditions all the time.
Last call for 3 1/4, 300, bid down 3 1/4, 3 1/4, last call, 300 and a quarter, 300.
Ronald, thank you so much.
Last call button 3 100, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, yes or no? 3 1/4, one more time at 3 1/4, yes.
Starlight Demon 71 asking about the Louis Phyto pieces. Those have sold. Those sold at the store.
1870 Bavarian Franco-Prussian War sword bayonet with the sheath. There you go. 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Hit 3 1/4, down 350, 350, 350, 350, 350, 3 1/4, down 350. Hit 3 1/4.
A few bayonets coming up.
3 1/2, 3 1/4, down 3 1/2. Hit 3 1/4, down 350, 350, 350, 350, 350. Hit 350, 3 1/4, down 350. You didn't bring your sauce for that thing? 3 1/4, 3 1/2. 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Hit 3 1/4. I don't know about the waiters around here. 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Hit 3 1/4, down 3 1/2.
John says you should have sent the Big Jade mask off to auction in the United States. There's major challenges with COVID and everything right now, and shipping items like that are not easy to do. So I reached out, and it was going to be a very long process to try and get it down to them, if we could get it there at all. So we opted to sell locally.
3 1/4, down 353, 53, 53, 53, 75. No money for that sword. 375. Hit 1870, 350, 375. 350, 375.
Yes, the 39 World's Fair photo sold a while ago.
One more time. Yes or no?
Oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button if you're watching the auction. Hit the little thumbs up. That's always helpful for our video. We've only got 262 likes right now. See if we can ramp that up a little bit. The Vasarely portfolios are, I think there's just a few selected pieces of them. I believe they were as complete as they were meant to be.
400 and a quarter, 4 1/4. Y'all done? Hit 400's all of it. 4 1/4. One more time. It's 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 4 1/4. Yes or no? Hit.
Sword bayonet is quite a bit longer than an average bayonet.
If you want to get on it, now's the time. 400.
Normal bayonet is quite a bit shorter for modern guns, but back in the 1800s, you would have a detachable sword essentially at the end of your rifle. And because it was a actual handheld sword, a weapon, you could use it for hand-to-hand combat versus just a regular knife that they would have had for a regular bayonet or a more modern bayonet. There's another sword bayonet.
1874 French Etienne sword bayonet with sheath. There you go. 2 1/4, 2 1/2. 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Hit 2 1/4, but that 2.
The Japanese officer's sword should go for good money because they are quite rare. We'll see.
Hit 275 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and $300. 275 and 3. Hit 275 and 300.
There are a few things that are really interesting in this auction sale. Of course, the Mayan artifacts, the big mask was the star of the show. But the steam tractor, you'll be surprised. Whatever lot number that steam tractor is, that should probably go for some decent money too. There's quite a few items in here that are really interesting and really unique. Ralph Oliver keeps saying, please focus. It's not at our end, Ralph. You have to change the settings on your display to view at 720p or higher. There's a little gear, and then you can switch quality and then switch your quality over to 720p. It should clear up right away.
400, where yes or no at 400, 375 and 400, I'll put it again, 400. They all done, 3 375's all bidding for. Last call for 400. Yes or no? We're going to sell it. 375 and 4 and 4 and 4 and I.
There it goes.
The 375 is gone. And now
It's the triangular bayonet.
A musket triangular bayonet with the sheath. There we go. Have a look.
Nice to have the leather and brass sheath with it as well.
120, 120, 120, 110, 120, get it again, 130, 140, 130, 140. Hit 130 down, 140, 140, 140, 140, where yes or no, 140, 130 down, 140, where yes or no. Hit 130 down, 140, 150. Hit the game, 140, 150, 150, 150, 150, 140, 150.
140, 150. It's climbing up.
160, to put it again, 160, 160, 160, 160, 150 down, 160. At 150, 160. 150 down, 160, 160, 160, 160, 170, 160.
Casters has said they have a different shipper that they're using now, and the prices are about 50% less than what they were before.
170 down, 180, 180, 180, 180, 180, 180, 180, 180, 170, 180. All done. 170, solo 50, 180. Last call at 180, 170 down, 180.
My prediction is that that big giant tractor goes for $2,700 to $3,700.
Sold it. 170 to money, 867.
This was a neat piece because it was from the Commonwealth Games. It's all etched. It's a presentation sword.
Yeah, from the Commonwealth Games, 3 1/4, 3 1/2.
This came from a state of an RCMP officer who was given this at the games for working the event.
3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3 1/2. Now 75 and 4, 375 and 400. Where yes or no at 4. Hit 375 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 400. With it again, 375 and 400. 375 and 400. Where yes or no at 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 4. You all done?
It has all the different track and field events on the blade too, like swimming and high jump and decathlon. All that stuff is all up and down the blade. It's pretty cool. If somebody's into quite an athlete, that would be a really neat piece to have. This is going to be an interesting sale here. Over $1,000 on this for sure. Yep, 1,100 already.
1,200, I'll bid it again, 1,200, 1,200, 1,200, 1,100, 1,200, 1,200, 1,200, and 1,112, 1,112.
You don't see much for Second World War Japanese stuff. Look at how ornate the handle is. A lot of these swords were made by people who made like samurai swords, very traditional manner. So the blade on it, I don't know if it'll show up in the picture, but the blade is folded steel.
You won't find too many more of these around 1,100, 11.5, and 11 and 11.
Well, let's see what it goes for. It looks like whoever bid 1,100 was sitting at 1,100.
1,100's all of it, down 11.5, 11.5, one more time at 11.5.
I would have thought that would have gone more, but I guess that was all they wanted to do.
77, here we go, 60, 70, it's 60 and 70 and 70 and 70.
Proof coin sets.
70, I'll bid it again, 60 and 70. At 60 and 70 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 and 60 and 70. 60's all of it, 70 and 70 and 70. Last call.
Let's see, what should I get us down to? Looks like we're going to get into, well, there's some unidentified Roman coins. That's not as, the identified coins are going to be worth a little bit more.
1973 Canada proof $45.50. And 45 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50. And 45's all of it, $50, but again, 45 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50. Last call.
There it goes, 45.
50 and 50 and 50. One more time at 50. Yes or no? Going to sell it 45 and 50. And I sold it 45. It's gone 71. 1979 this time 40.
Let's go back and see how things did so far. We started off kind of at the $300 mark. The jade necklaces went for around $300 to $600 each. The blade, 400. A lot of these items really varied. And we got to the big mask. A little later on, we see that little figure went for 2,000. This little guy. So we had some good numbers coming up out of some items so far.
And 45 and 50 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 $, but again 45 and 50. Yeah, 45's all of it, $50, but again 45 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50.
The nice thing about an auction like this, you have enough variety in it that there's a little something for everybody. Whether you just want to grab a little coin set or go big and get like an ancient sword or a little cannon or something, there's quite literally something for everyone at this sale.
It is a 1975 crude dollar, Canadian dollar crude set. We got 50 to go, 60. That's 50, 60. Then again, $50, $60, but again, $60, but again, $50, 60 and 60 and 60 and 60 and 60 and 50 and 60, 50 and 60, 50, 60.
Let's see, we get into some of the older coin lots coming up. So I'll stay on until maybe lot 81, 83, and then I'll sign off, and then we're going to go feed birds. This auction is going to continue on through the rest of the day, though. There's quite a bit of stuff coming through, coins, artifacts. Boy, look, if I just scroll down here, there's the big tractor, 82.55. 82.41 should be good. The Civil War Colt is coming up.
60, 70.
Do you know what the size of
At 60 and 70. They come from the 1700s to the 1920s. 60, 70.
Maybe 30 by 45 or something like that.
60 and 70 and 80. 70 and 80 and 80.
Yeah.
80. There's 19 pieces. It's 70 and 80 and 80. Now put it again. 70 and 80 and 80. 90, 80 down 90 and 90 and 90. No money for that set. 90, 80 and 90. 80 down 90. That one older one, that 1700s is worth that much money. 80, 90. 80 down 90, double it again, 90, double it again, 80 down 90 and 90 and 90 and 90 and 90 and 80 down 90, 80 and 90. 80's all of it, 90 now 100, 90 down 100, double it again, 100, double it again.
Oh, there's another jade necklace coming up. Fur trade hatchet. Mauser bayonet. More West Coast baskets. The baskets are all from the museum. Ooh. Oh, we're getting some feedback there. Well, I had to turn that down for a second. That high-pitched sound is gonna, I think all the dogs all across the world are gonna start barking.
130, just in time. 120, 130. At 130, 140. At 130 down 140, 140, 140, 140, 130, 140, 130, 140. At 130, they go way back into the 1700s. 130 down 140. At 130, 140. At 130 down 140, 140, 140, 140. All done.
There's some good pieces coming up. When we get into the 8200s, I can see some good items in there. 1680 set of the Conquest of Alexander the Great, the Indigenous baskets, the tractor, the American Revolution Brown Bess. Oh boy, there's some really good stuff coming up.
130 the money, they're gone. And 75. Here we go on all those nickels. 45, 50. 45 and 50 and 50.
Wartime nickels.
50, a lot of 15 coins at 45, 50. Hit 45 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50. Double it again. 45 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50.
What's the next one?
45 and 50. And 60,
Dollar coins.
60. Hit 50 and 60 and 60.
Assorted silver coins.
60 and 50 down 60. Double it again. 60,
Okay, guys, I'm gonna flip this around for a second here.
hit 60.
Just gonna turn that down a little bit. We're gonna flip it. If I can make it flip it. Okay, this auction has a long way to go, and it's gonna be running on probably until about 6 or 7 o'clock, which as the time I'm filming this, it's only 1:50 here, so there's still about 4 hours left of this sale. There is some jewelry left over from the musician's house, which is selling near the end. There are some sports cards at the end, but there's also a lot of great historic items. If you want to watch this auction live, you can log into kauctions.ca and click on the bid now button for the Stan Reynolds Artifacts sale. There's still time to bid if you can get yourself logged in. I will try and do an update later on and let you guys know exactly how things went. But the whole point of this sale was that we wanted to try and find some land or find a place that we could move our family to. And instead of stressing about money and everything, I looked around the shop and just said, I've got all this stuff sitting here anyway. I may as well just, sell it. Oh, that's what we're doing. We're basically just selling everything off to try and get the money to go towards a purchase of a new property. So there we go. I hope that everything goes well at the auction. It seems to be going okay so far. There's still a really great Civil War era Colt coming up. Boy, and all sorts of other things. So more info and more stuff to come. Crazy Lamp Lady, nice to see you. If you haven't checked out her channel, you should do so. We've got a long way to go. I'll do a little update later on today and let you guys know how things went. But for now, we're gonna go off and feed birds, and I'll probably be sneaking the my phone a little bit with me to try and see how the big items go. But guys, thank you again. We'll see y'all soon. Another big day, another big auction sale, and it's time to set goals and time to make those dreams come true. We'll see you guys soon, and bye for now.